I absolutely love WALL-E, and honestly, I think it's one of Pixar's most underrated masterpieces. In this video, I want to take a deep dive into why this movie continues to be so amazing, even years after it first came out. Let's start by talking about the storytelling because honestly, it's bold and unique in a way that Pixar doesn't usually go for. WALL-E doesn't rely on long dialogues to tell its story. In fact, for a good portion of the movie, there's barely any talking at all. But that's the genius of it. The film uses visuals, sound effects, and the characters' expressions to communicate everything we need to know about the story and the world they live in. And trust me, that's not easy to pull off. Silent or mostly silent films can be risky because they can easily bore the audience, but Pixar trusted their story and executed it in a way that feels absolutely majestic. What really gets me is how much emotion they packed into what seems like a simple story. There's this underlying feeling of loneliness, curiosity, and longing for connection, and even though WALL-E is just a robot, these emotions feel incredibly human. You can see him exploring the world, collecting trinkets, and just observing life around him, and it's impossible not to feel a connection with him. That alone is remarkable because it shows how Pixar made a character without human traits still deeply relatable. And then there's the love story between WALL-E and Eva. I personally think it's Pixar's best love story. It doesn't rely on cheesy lines or forced romantic dialogue. Instead, it unfolds naturally through gestures, little sounds, body language, and the way they interact with each other. Every glance, every movement, and every small act of care tells you everything you need to know about their relationship. It's simple, beautiful, and incredibly heartfelt. Another thing worth pointing out is how the movie handles big themes like death and environmental decay, yet it does so with such simplicity that it never feels overwhelming. There's a real depth to the story that goes beyond the surface-level adventure, and it's all wrapped in these moments that feel intimate and personal. WALL-E's curiosity, his quiet loneliness, and his growing connection with Eva make the movie feel like a meditation on life, love, and hope. Apart from the beautiful love story, one of the other things that makes this movie so special is its environmental and social commentary. Pixar doesn't hit you over the head with a lecture about the environment or society. Instead, it weaves these messages into the story in a subtle but incredibly powerful way. The Earth in this film is shown as a garbage-covered wasteland, completely overwhelmed by pollution and waste. It's scary because it feels entirely possible. The way the planet is depicted makes it look both hopeless and yet strangely full of potential for change at the same time. The humans living on the spaceship, the Axiom, are another layer of the story that really drives the point home. They've become completely reliant on technology and corporations for every little thing in their lives. They don't walk, they float in hover chairs. They don't eat real food, everything is processed and handed to them. Even their bodies have gotten soft and weak because they've lost touch with the natural world.
We'll be here to assist you momentarily.
Stewards? Hello?
Please remain stationary. A service bot.
Through this, the movie shows the extreme consequences of laziness, overconsumption, and letting technology take over our lives. What's truly amazing, though, is how the film balances this heavy critique with hope. Despite showing a planet that's nearly destroyed and a society that's almost unrecognizable, WALL-E still carries this feeling that change is possible. The story suggests that even small actions, a single robot cleaning up trash, a curious heart willing to explore, can spark bigger changes. It's a reminder that it's never too late to care, to act, or to make a difference. WALL-E is without a doubt one of the most fascinating characters Pixar has ever created. Honestly, I would even argue that he's more human than the humans in the film, and that's part of what makes him so amazing. Every little aspect of his personality, his curiosity, his loneliness, his determination, and even his clumsy little quirks, makes him incredibly relatable and deeply endearing. You can't help but root for him, care about him, and feel his emotions, even though he's just a robot. The ending of the film is incredibly impactful and meaningful. It's not just about Wally and Eva, it's about the humans too.
Out there is our home. Home, Otto, and it's in trouble. I can't just sit here and do nothing. That's all I've ever done. That's all anyone in this blasted ship has ever done. Nothing!
On the axiom, you will survive.
I don't want to survive! I want to live!
By the end, the humans finally rediscover their purpose and agency, realizing that they have the power to change their lives and their world. It's a beautiful moment that symbolizes rebirth, hope, and the possibility of redemption, and it leaves you with a sense of satisfaction and awe. This is storytelling at its finest, giving closure while still leaving you thinking about the bigger message. It's no wonder that Wall-E is considered one of Pixar's boldest artistic films. For me, it's the boldest of all because of the way Wall-E was handled, a character so different from anything we'd seen in a Pixar film before. The choice to tell such a large part of the story with minimal dialogue and focus on visual storytelling and emotion was a huge risk, and it paid off brilliantly. This approach has influenced countless future animated films, encouraging them to take creative risks with pacing, narrative style, and character expression. The film's acclaim was well-deserved. It won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature in 2009 and was nominated for 6 Oscars in total. But beyond awards, what really matters is that the film still holds up today. Its story, characters, and emotional depth are timeless. Whether you watch it today or 10 years from now, it never feels outdated. Wall-E, Eva, and the story of humanity's redemption remain just as powerful, just as touching, and just as inspiring as the day the film was released.